Welcome back to the Now Morning Show. So we're starting off our discussion this morning about families in action. They have some sessions for recovering persons and families. It's called the Practical Family Support Workshops. Joining us this morning is Vincent Best. He's the group facilitator at Families in Action Addiction Support Program, and Gerard Baptiste, psychologist at Families in Action Addiction Support Program. Good morning, gentlemen, and welcome to the show.
Good morning.
How are you both doing this morning?
Thank you for having us.
It's a pleasure to have both of you with us this morning on the Now Morning Show. Thanks for getting up so early to chat with us about these support programs.
Thank you so much for hosting us.
So, Mr. Best, can you tell us a little bit about Families in Action?
Families in Action is an NGO from around as a matter of fact.
Okay, it seems as though we're having some connectivity issues with Mr. Best. Mr. Baptiste, can you tell us about
his signal is giving a little problem. What Vincent, I think, was saying is Families in Action is an NGO that's been around for over 30 plus years, has its roots in addiction, and was started by Ivis Gibson many years ago as a support mechanism for addicts. It's since that time grown into a number of different areas. So we have an EAP program that we offer to a number of individuals, both locally and regionally. There is a parenting and youth department that offers programs for parents and students, and that's actually running now. They have tips for SEA students. That's a program that's running right now. There's a domestic violence unit which manages domestic violence issues. And then there's our department that is the addiction support program, where people can come to us, get support for assessing whether there's a substance use disorder. And then we have a support group that they can join, which runs on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And tell us a little bit about the upcoming 6-week program in particular. I know this is definitely something that we need to have shared so we can also get that participation if necessary.
Yeah, I don't know if Vincent is back on. Okay, so apparently he's still having some issues. All right, so let me go ahead and share the program, because I know it seems as though Vince is still having some issues. As we continue to see individuals in our office almost daily, what we've recognized is that people with substance use disorders, in fact, there are a number of effects on their families. So there's a lot of stress, strain. People are very, don't understand how to manage a person with substance use. So what we've done is designed a 6-week program, which actually started last week. It's online on the Zoom platform. And each week we will be covering different topics that we will share with individuals to help support that family member. So last week on the 21st, we actually started with what is substance abuse. And that was a very dynamic presentation by one of our team members, Esther Hazard. We continue tonight from 6 o'clock, and the topic will be family support strategies. So what that will entail is actually giving people practical strategies for supporting the person with a substance use disorder. Then we move to the 4th of April, where I'll be looking at attachment styles, because your early attachment to that mother, father plays a lot into what happens to you as an adult. On the 11th, we do self-care strategies, where we will be sharing with individuals, how do you take care of yourself? Things like your own self-care, relaxation techniques, and that's going to be a very interactive workshop. And then on the 18th and 25th of April, Vince will be doing recovery and relapse. And Vince is a very dynamic individual, and he'll be sharing with you from the addict's perspective, practical tips for recovery and relapse, which is very intertwined. Each session is $100. So if you decide to take the one on the 18th, then that's $100. what you do is you call into us. We will then give you a link. Our numbers are 622-6952. You call in, you indicate to us which session or sessions you want. You can, in fact, if you wish, do all of them. So at this point, we're on session number 2, and it's from 6 to 7 on those Tuesdays. So the next one we have is actually this evening at 6, and we still have space to accommodate some individuals.
Wonderful. Let's see if we can get Mr. Best back into the conversation. Mr. Best, can you hear us?
Yes, I am. I hope you hear me. I see we have some problems with my mic.
We're definitely getting a little bit of feedback there, Mr.
Hello?
Best. So, Mr. Baptiste, we're going to have to come back to you to continue the conversation this morning. You've been focusing, of course, on what you have coming up with your addiction support program and shared with us the schedule, essentially, of some of the things that you'll be looking into. But how big would you say the issue is of substance abuse and misuse in families in Trinidad?
Extremely huge. We see people daily. As I said, the first step is that we do an assessment. So we have hundreds of people that come into us on a monthly basis, whether for an assessment, whether it's through our EAP program, whether it's off the street. When we're speaking about substance use, the DSM-5 looks at 11 categories. So we have, you have your usual suspects, your alcohol, your marijuana, but you also have things like coffee. So you can actually move from drinking 2 or 3 cups of coffee to overusing coffee. And that then becomes the addictive element of it. So it's a huge issue. And we're seeing it every day because we're doing this work every day. And that's why we are really convicted that we need to help as many families as we can, because we get calls every single day from individuals who have someone in their family that has a substance use issue.
Wow.
So it's a very, very large problem.
To hear that, especially when you mention something that so many of us ingest on a daily basis, coffee, definitely puts us into a different perspective when it comes to addiction. And also, let's be frank about it. When it comes to addiction, it is something that can be quite a sensitive topic, especially when you start to get families involved and that sort of thing. So what about confidentiality? What about privacy for those who may be interested in participating? Is this something that they can look forward to?
Yes, our space is a very safe space. Although it's an online platform, all securities are in place. Because we've been doing this for a number of years, collectively between Vince, myself, and Esther, the team has over 30 years plus of experience in doing this. So people can be assured that this is a safe space. It's not a place where we're going to be sharing anyone's information. So that is something that we always take care of. Even if you come into us, we have things like informed consent, so you're able to know that your information is protected. So that's something that we're very big on.
And definitely wonderful that you've shared that with us this morning, because I know that will be a critical component for many who may be considering coming in. But I'm sure, as you would know, of course, the first step is just showing up. Mr. Baptiste, can you share with us some closing comments this morning for Families in Action and your upcoming and ongoing programs as well?
Sure. We're encouraging members of the public, of course, to call us. You can do so now if you wish, 622-6952. Someone will take your information and they will explain to you, because I know in 10 minutes people may not get all the information. Someone will be there to share the details. You can then make the decision as to which, or if you want to take all of the sessions. You can also email us at addictionsupport@familiesinaction.net. So it's 622-6952. And we're looking forward to seeing even more persons than last week joining us later at 6 o'clock online to share in this very interactive family support workshop.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Mr. Baptiste, and thank you so much, Mr. Best, for joining us this morning on the Now Morning Show. And thank you for the work that you do for our society. Have a great day.
Thank you so much.
Families in Action Addiction Support Program. Make sure that you check it out and make sure that you stay tuned. The Now Morning Show has a lot more coming up you don't want to miss.
I'm just a stranger.